everybody here. I want to thank you all for coming tonight on such short notice. It wasn't that short a notice. 3 days? 3 days now? Okay. This is a special common council meeting to be held June 5th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. The meeting is called to order. Would you please call the roll?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Present.
Alderperson Bailey is excused. Alderperson Kastner is excused. Alderperson Sarian.
Present.
Alderperson Akers.
Present.
So this agenda is a little longer than we anticipated. Typically, we have 2 meetings a month, and this month it's a summer schedule, so we're getting rid of some housekeeping things as well. Item B1 is Daniel's Place requests an extension of licensed premises on their combination Class B beer and liquor license and entertainment license for the Bags League to include the front of the building that will be fenced off. Alcohol sales will be inside and consumption will be in plastic containers for outside. The events will be on June 11th, June 18th, 25th, July 2nd, and July 9th from 6 to 9:30 p.m. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Akers, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Juzwicki, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 2 is discussion decision to approve the First Amendment to amended and restated development agreement between Cobalt Loomis LLC and the City of Greenfield. This was provided to you. I think it's in the confidential packet. This has much to do with the area surrounding the parking lot north of the turf, extending I guess it's a guarantee of a note for 2 more years that we have with Cobalt. Ultimately, it will result in the city getting a parking lot for the turf and having that land turned over to us. It cleans up a bunch of easements that needed to be cleared up. I think at some point it returns the billboard to us. There are the power on the site provides easements for the billboards and all that stuff. If you have any questions, it was very important that we do this before Saturday. So I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderperson Juzwicki made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Akers. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Items 3, 4, 5, and 6 are outdoor special event licenses at the House of Harley for May 31st, June 7th, June 21st, and July 14th.
Isn't May 31st passed?
There was an administrative error that it was supposed to be on the last common council agenda. Administrative error, it wasn't there. We're just going to if you would like to make the motion and get it approved, so that way the applicant who did appropriately fill it out, we went through all the process, we just missed that last.
So I guess the first one is a retroactive, but it speaks to the sanctity and commitment of the House of Harley-Davidson to do everything that they possibly can. There weren't any concerns or complaints about the May 31st event. There seldom are anymore, which is really nice. I'd entertain a motion to approve the 4 of them, the first one retroactively.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderperson Juzwicki. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sarian. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 7 is approve an outdoor special event application for the Ridge Food Truck Nights to be located at 4500 South 108th Street on June 12th, July 10th, and August 7th, essentially once a month.
Well, these are revised dates, because I was like, I thought we already approved these.
I thought we didn't we once?
But it says revised dates.
Revised dates. I don't know if they switched the days. Okay, so
I'll make a motion to approve.
Alderperson Akers, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sarian. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. You said aye, right? Yeah, okay. Motion carries unanimously. And then finally, item 8, approve an outdoor special event application for St. John's Annual Church Festival on July 25th through the 27th with all the licenses and permits as indicated. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Alderperson Juzwicki, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Akers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Entertain a motion. Well, before I make the motion to adjourn, just as an update, hope to see you there Saturday at 11 if you can be. It would be important that you're there
I'm going to do my best as
to receive the recognition that you deserve. I just want to tell you that the skateboard park has turned out better than anyone even imagined. Today, there were actually families visiting with their kids who had planned their vacations to be there. There was a family from North Carolina, a family from Utah, and a family from Illinois, and the park isn't even open yet. We also had some very special guests, professional skaters, a gentleman named John Worthington, who's, I'm told, is the best bowl skater in the world. He flew in from Sacramento today to skate the bowl, and it's the very first time that I've seen somebody jump between 3 bowls effortlessly. It was just amazing, amazing stuff. A number of the Turf Council were there. Those are the people that were very instrumental in helping guide the city through this process. They were there. Couple of them, got a little sore pretty quick. But it's really good. We saw a lot of kids. A lot of kids are showing up, right? So that's next generation. I thank the council for its foresight in recognizing that we need to do something for the younger people to get them off their damn phones. And I think this is going to be the perfect solution to that. We really hit a home run with this park. The stuff that you passed tonight reflects on the parking lot that is 99.9% engineered, other than maybe some utilities that need to be moved. The DOT has been, the last meeting that we had, telephone conference that we had with the DOT, was one of the most pleasurable experiences that I've ever experienced in my life with the DOT.
Really?
I'm not joking. I want to thank them, and I hope the minutes reflect this, and some of this other stuff, that it's truly a pleasure to work with a state bureaucracy that's receptive and is accommodating. And they were, and I want to thank them for that immensely. Because without their approvals and without their reviews and without their due diligence, they could drag the parking lot out for 2 or 3 years if they wanted to. It sounds like their decision-making, their legal review and engineering review will be completed within 30 days, I think they said, which is great, which means that the parking lot for the turf, which is less than ideal right now, could be completed by fall. And then we can have another ribbon cutting for the parking lot, and we can do all sorts of things that people wanted to do during this event. So finally.
We have to get a bid, right? The parking lot.
So actually, Cobalt is part of the developers agreement that we have with them. For them to take over the park and ride site, they were responsible to build a new park and ride site. We managed to get the DOT to lower the number from 150 down to 32 stalls that are dedicated as part of the park and ride site. So the reality is that Cobalt will be building the parking lot.
How many stalls is it?
It's going to have 87 or 9, 80? Over 80 stalls. 30 of them are kind of dedicated as a park and ride. The good thing is that the park and ride will be municipally owned. And in the future, we'll be probably discussing the ordinances surrounding parking on municipally owned lots within the city, which could be of some benefit to some of the problems that are experienced in other park and ride lots because of county or state oversight. Does that make sense? So I want to thank, another person I really want to thank who doesn't like to be thanked before we head into Saturday. Jeff Katz has put up with my temperament and my anxiety for the last, 2 years. It hasn't. Jeff is an absolute saint, and I'm honored that he's here. Drives me nuts sometimes, but I guess I drive you more nuts. So, but I am so proud of our staff. Mike Dermody and DPW really took charge of the entire site. The city saved probably $500,000 to $750,000 just utilizing DPW crews, and the work that they did is beyond reproach. I say this all the time, and I truly mean it. The people that work for us have the passion and the skill and the desire to make the city a better place, and we should all be very proud of them, and we should be very proud of those 2 individuals, because that's you, and Dermody, and even Randy was out working today, which was pretty impressive. Randy's great. I'm just teasing him. So I just want to thank you because this is really going to be a cool thing. Finally, we're already working on I'm working through the process of creating a nonprofit, basically a Friends of the Turf kind of, it'll be called something cooler than Friends of the Turf. But the desire is to do capital fundraising, create an account similar to the AMP account, but sort of through the Friends, to have events and to have music and to have cool cultural hip stuff, not your typical park and recreation.
And eventually get the enclosure that we want?
I'm not sure if we're ever going to get the enclosure, but having getting a shelter built similar to the one that's on the southwest corner of Conkle Park, the exact same structure, I think is really, really important to actually have bathrooms there and to have that kind of space. The parking lot's important, and phase 2 of the project, which is probably $250,000 or so. We need to do some fundraising today. I was encouraged by the possibility of some money, which was nice. Pretty sizable amount, not 250,000, but maybe a quarter of that or 20% of that. So if we can get the money raised, I mean, what I'd love to see next year is to see the shelter going, and I'd love to see phase 2 completed. When Lance Mountain was here, Lance Mountain was regarded as the best vertical skater at the time in the 80s and 90s. When he was here a couple of weeks ago, flew out from California to skate it. He had apparently created a sketch of a 3-lane, dang, I always forget, what are they called? It's not a pump track, it's not a pump track, it's yeah, kind of like a pump track, but it's, I don't know. He created a drawing of this thing, and we're in contact with him to see if we can't get that drawing. If we could have a Lance Mountain inspired track in our park, that would just add another feather to the cap. It's really a cool place, and everybody that's skated it so far has just been incredibly gracious and thankful and blessed that you all made that decision to support it. We all did good so far. Okay? Just wanted to put that into the record. Thank you for your patience.
Are we gonna have porta potties
This is
out
sort
there
of your
Saturday?
baby.
So there are 2 porta potties there now. There will be 14 total that day. There will be 4 food trucks. There will be, the fire department's putting up a tent. The city will have a tent up that will be selling shirts and stuff like that. There will be beer and soda sales there, more revenue streams that we're trying to get for the place. I think it's going to be very, very crowded. Parking is going to be it's going to be very, very challenged. So I would urge, if people call and complain, that we exercise the greatest, it's a one-time thing, because we wish we could have had the parking lot in, but waiting to to open the park until the parking lot's in would have probably got us into fall, assuming the DOT and all that other stuff, so.
We have the ability to park people on the grass over there or something?
So we have cut the grass, we have marked it all off with rope and stakes. I'd encourage you just to stop by and look. There's probably some significant room for cars there. The park and ride lot, we'll be signing that, so there's probably 150 stalls that are available over there that people can walk. I'm sure people will be parking in the neighborhood. There will be temporary parking allowed on parts of Loomis and all that stuff. Of course, the difficulty is this weekend 894 is being closed, going the western direction. So it's like, of all the times, right? Like House of Harley has their ride, right? And Layton Avenue is going to be bad. I'm still I question the decision to close an interstate highway completely ever and direct all of that traffic to local streets.
Especially after the last time.
Especially after the last time. But tonight, because I'm so happy with the DOT and how generous they were in the last phone call, I'm not going to say anything.
What if it rains tomorrow night and they have to push it off for another week?
No, please, no.
It's not going to be pushed off for another, it isn't going to be pushed off for another week, and it's not going to rain, so bite your lip, tongue.
Well, no, I said Friday night. I didn't say Saturday. Saturday
no.
it's gonna be beautiful.
So just so everyone's aware, a significant part of the turf skateboard park was the drainage system that was underneath it, like a significant part of it, which was funded in part by the stormwater utility. We had that heavy rain a couple days ago, an inch and a half, 2 inches maybe. The following morning, there wasn't any water in the bowls. It was all gone. One of the bowls, though, the top bowl, the newest bowl, which I think has got the lowest, it's not, is it elevation, whatever the bottom is? It's the lowest point. I'm told that that bowl and the keyhole at its lowest point, that's the deepest bowl, are at the same elevation as the freeway elevation, which is down below,
Yeah.
right? So the water it can't move as horizontally as it wants to. I don't know if that's true. Jeff can correct me with all the engineering stuff, but. So when we work on the parking lot, we're gonna try to see if we can figure out something to remove groundwater a little bit, because, I mean, the one bowl is 12 feet, right? 10 feet down. But people are just digging it, and it's really cool. Should all be very proud. It's the coolest thing ever. And I'm not a skater. Next thing, I want to have a water ski park,
You might as well just make it the Dells at this
because then I
point.
can go water skiing.
Water
I think
slides,
we need
You want to see some real water skiing without skis? I can do that.
Can we get a
But
troll at it?
I can, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I think we should do something, because I used to barefoot water ski, had the black and blue shoulders to prove it, so. All right, and entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you guys for coming tonight.
Motion to adjourn.
By Alderperson Drzwicki, second by Alderperson
Acres.
Akers at 6:49. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.